What did I tell you? Right over here. Just this month alone, I took a brand new store in 30 days, let this refresh, click apply, and it loaded right here to $243,547.17. And we just have sales galore. I've been using this one particular strategy, and it went from literally zero to around 1,000, 2,000 a day, and then I scaled it to over $10,000 a day. As a matter of fact, check this out right about here. Look at this. What is up, Dan fam? Welcome back to another awesome video. Now, in today's video, it's gonna be really cool because I decided to break down something a little bit more simple. Now, I just showed you, and everybody's been following along on this little store that I created, and specifically, I created that store for the 100K Blueprint 3.0 members to watch and document how I built that up and use that as a little case study, which is absolutely insane. But what you just saw was that exact case study, the numbers that we're running and it's such a sick challenge because in the last 30 days, I didn't know the numbers, and I just surpassed $250,000. Now that's awesome, but the profit margins are roughly 30%. So what's even cooler about that is I wanna walk you through, if you're a complete beginner, if this is the first time you've ever created a Shopify store, or heck, Shopify is just a platform. Essentially, the model is drop shipping. That's exactly what I wanna teach you here today, is exactly what I've been doing and the strategies that I'm using as well. So you notice the scene change. Well, I flew out to San Diego to meet up with some friends, Kevin David, ODI Productions, great friends. We went ahead and collabed on a lot of videos already, and just some really awesome people here as well. But I came for two events, and one event specifically is to learn a lot more about e-commerce from people that are doing 30, 40, $50 million plus every single year. And then there was even Richard Branson speaking at this event as well. So the knowledge that I'm obtaining here, and I came back, and this is the conference is still going on, but I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a great idea. I learned one specific thing, I came back and I'm deciding to roll it out just to see how it works. So I'm always learning as well. And to be quite honest with you, I paid $3,000 for this ticket. And I just think to myself, wow, I paid $3,000 for 3 days, and 100K Blueprint is $997. And it's crazy because I'm willing to invest in myself. That one thing that I learned is going to make me thousands, heck, millions of dollars over the course of the next few years. So again, don't ever be afraid to invest in yourself. But this video is going to walk you through the exact steps. If you are brand new, if you are a beginner, you're gonna love this. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna be revealing some strategies and some KPIs, so key performance indicators that you need to look out for in order to be able to scale and make as much money as I just showed you in the last 30 days. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's hop in to my computer, make sure you're subscribed with notifications, and I'll see you at the very end. Let's get to the meat and potatoes and why you're here. All right, so let's just jump right into it, which is the easiest way to $10,000 per month with Shopify Dropshipping. Now again, Shopify is just the platform. You can be using WooCommerce, BigCommerce, whatever you're using, but the business model is dropshipping here. So let's just get right into it. I don't want any fluff. I just want to just dive right into the content and why you're here. The first thing you want to do is create a simple store. Now, before I dive into this, there's 1,000 ways to skin a chicken, right? And when it comes down to it, this is a strategy of many. Now, I do believe this is the easiest strategy, and it'll save you a lot of time, and I hope you understand why once you go through all this. So the first thing is create a simple store. You want to create a store that is more so generic, like a generic, not niche store. Now, why do you want to do this exactly? Well, it's because you want to try and go out there and rapidly test as fast as you can. You don't want to waste your time, or you don't want to spend hours on a niche specific store or a niche specific product just yet, because guess what? If you go out there and advertise and it fails, you have to restart, and all that time and capital that you put aside to that particular niche store is a complete waste. You'd have to repivot your store or completely start from scratch with a new Shopify store or whatever platform you're using. So that's the reason why I like to start generic as well. So rather than going out there and focusing on a niche store, you want to create a generic store to test products on. So the whole purpose is to see if we can go ahead and generate sales on a store that isn't geared or branded towards a certain particular audience. Now, the reason this works is one of two reasons. Number one is we get proof, okay, proof of concept that we can actually go ahead and make sales with this particular product. Because again, you want to make sure you have a right product to market fit. And what that means essentially is if you have a product, just because it seems like it's a good product doesn't mean the market is ready for it or necessarily mean that they want it. So you don't want to start building out an entire store not knowing if you have something that will be a hit or miss. And unfortunately, if it's a miss, you've just spent all this time creating a brand new store, designing it really well, to just find out that it's not a great product to market fit and it's very hard for you to advertise. And two, I know we can easily move it to its own store and double or triple our conversions overall. So kind of keep that in mind. And the importance of this is finding winners without losing so much time and money at the same exact time. And I'm going to break down how much we should be spending and the KPIs, the key performance indicators, and what that means exactly. So that's your very first step. It's creating a very simple store. You can have as many products in any niche that you see fit. As you can take a look right over here on the left-hand side, this is my store, thefancygadget.com, where we test a lot of different products. And again, we test tons of different things in tons of different niches and see if they sell. And then once we have data, we do a few things. We move it to its own store and then start branding it outwards. Second thing that we want to do is run very simple ads. Now this is one of my ads on the Fancy Gadget, and this is the blender bottle. Now I called it Blender Light Pro. So let me go over exactly what you should be doing. So essentially, you can spend $5 to $10 per day and let it run for 4 to 7 days per ad set. Now, when I break down budget a little bit more in the next slide, you'll really understand how we should be segmenting our budget. So you want to monitor some of these key important indicators. So these key performance indicators, they're important for you, and I got a little tongue twisted right there, the important KPIs, okay? So it's key performance indicators for short. So here are just a few of them that you want to monitor. CPM, which is the cost per every 1,000 impressions. So that's how basically Facebook bills you. That's how you get charged. So your CPM could be $2, $3, $4 for every 1,000 impressions, all the way up to $15, $20, $40, $50, $80. The lower it is, the better it is. That means the more traction your ad has. And then we have CPUC, which is cost per unique click. Now this is also something you want to go ahead and monitor. And clicks vary, okay? Clicks can be 70 cents, they can be $1, they can be $3. But at the end of the day, if you're paying $10 a click and you're still profitable, let's just say you spent, $300 and each click is $10, so 30 clicks, and out of those 30 clicks you made a $500 sale. And you keep $200 theoretically, right? After all that ad spend and after the product cost, let's just say you keep $200. That means that even if you are paying $10 per click just for 30 clicks, you're still in profit. So again, profit outweighs everything. ROI outweighs it all. However, you want to try to get your cost per unique click as low as you can possibly make it. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then frequency. Now, frequency is more so important with retargeting because then this also comes into banner blindness. Now, what banner blindness is if somebody sees your ad too many times, they get so accustomed to it that they know what it is and they just skip by it. They won't watch it again, and it's completely irrelevant for them, and they're probably not going to buy. And I noticed this when I started getting 20 to 30, like 30.12, and that means that the average person, all right, saw in my targeting demographic, in my potential reach, saw my ad 30 times, roughly. So that's what frequency is. It's basically your total amount of reachable people, and inside of that group, how many times they have seen that ad on average. So if it's like 12.15, that means your potential reach, every single one of those people inside of that reach has seen your ads an average of 12.15 times, so 12 times. So you want to take a look at your frequency, because if it starts going way too high, then you're just spending your money, and you'll start noticing where the frequency becomes really high and the sales drop off starts to happen, and that's fine. That's something that you want to go ahead and keep in mind. But this is important to understand. You want to set up your budget before you go ahead and start advertising. Now, again, here's just some budget spread rules. I call it my budget spread, okay? So this is exactly my budget spread. So let's just say I have $1,000, and I'll break this down in a little bit, in like probably 10 seconds. But I break it up with 50% of my budget is interest-based traffic, 30% goes to retargeting-based traffic, and 20% goes to purchase-based traffic. Now, I'm going to break these down a little bit more and what they do after I give you an example of a $1,000 budget. Let's just say you have $1,000 for the month. Here's what it would look like. So we take a 30-day month and we divide $1,000, and that's around $33 a day. Now, $15 per day interest, which is cold traffic, that's what I would dedicate my daily budget to, right? So $33 a day, 15 of that would be going to cold traffic, which is interest, so half of that, or $16 roughly. And then I'd dedicate $10 per day to retargeting based traffic. And then I'd dedicate $6 per day to purchase based retargeting. So again, what are these? What is interest-based traffic? What is retargeting-based traffic? What is purchase-based traffic? Well, interest-based traffic is interest that you can target inside of Facebook or lookalike audiences. That falls under interest-based traffic as well. So that's where majority of your ad spend will be. However, a lot of your profit is going to be coming from the other 30 and 20%, which is retargeting-based traffic. If somebody lands on your product URL, what you're going to do is you're going to create another, perhaps maybe video, maybe an image, whatever you want to do. And again, if you're inside 100K Blueprint, I actually give you the exact outline, what you should be following. It's more so of a 2-2 strategy. And for those of you in 100K Blueprint, you understand that. It's the 2-2 strategy. Well, I guess since 100K Blueprint isn't available to the public yet, nobody would really know what 2-2 strategy is. So yeah, kind of blowing my mind right now. But essentially, the 2-2 strategy is 2 types of creatives. So 2 certain types of creatives and another 2 certain types of creatives. And out of those 4 creatives total, you're going to find the one that works. And retargeting based traffic, that's where 30% of your allocated budget goes to and where a lot of your money will be generated from as well. And then 20% purchase-based traffic is basically upselling via ads. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to take the people that buy from you and then retarget them to different products because they already purchased from you. So they have shown an inclination that they trust you and your brand, and you can take advantage of that, and you should. People love to buy from other people that they trust, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. This is how you would break it down. So your third step is to scale your business as much as you possibly can. So you want to be able to take it to the next level. So here are the 3 most common ways to scale. Now, if you take a look on the left-hand side, this is a campaign that we ran. It was around $117,000 in ad spend. This is a 45-day time period. And we ended up making around $1.1 million or so. Again, really, really good. You could see that the link clicks, 156,000. That's just under $1 for every single link click that we receive. However, link clicks can mean a vast majority of things. But again, this campaign was super profitable no matter how you slice it. Now, we really talk about these examples in depth in 100K Blueprint. However, here are the ones that I want to talk about. We have horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, and bulk scaling. So let me go ahead and talk about horizontal scaling right now. What we're going to talk about is the fact that horizontal and vertical are different and bulk is completely different. However, horizontal scaling is essentially you're adding new ad sets with different interests, okay? But you don't touch anything, just add extra money to it or add, extra money to that particular interest. So what you're doing is essentially, let's just say you have a gym product and you're targeting 24-hour fitness, Planet Fitness, and that's it. Let's just say 24-hour fitness and Planet Fitness. Those are 2 gyms. You can create, if you're scaling horizontally, you're going to create another ad set to go ahead and target something completely different and put that budget a little bit higher as well. So perhaps you can roll it out to Gold's Gym, right? That can be horizontal. You scale outwards into another interest as well. And then we have vertical scaling. Vertical scaling is pretty simple. You want to duplicate the ad set and change the budget. Again, I've been very, very, very keen on vertical scaling. This is one where one of my students said the 20% increase on duplicating campaigns was the reason why he made $1 million so fast, is because he just was able to scale it that rapidly. And my strategy is to increase 20% on the previous budget. So if it was $10 and the campaign was successful every single day, that was your daily budget, $10, you'd put it to $12, all right? And then from 12, you'd multiply that by 20% and then add it to 12 on the next round. However, this one could be a little bit complicated because of how slow it is to scale. I don't like going 4 to 5 days. I like to wait 2 days and then I'll just keep scaling, but I'll do it a little bit more rapidly. I'll kind of take horizontal and vertical and combine them together. And then what you have is bulk scaling. And this is where you take your winning targeting, okay, you take your winning targeting interests and you bulk them together in one ad set. So if you have 3 targeting interests, Gold's Gym, 24-hour fitness, and Planet Fitness, you would take them all and put them into one. And ideally, you would want to pay $3 to $5 for every 1,000 impressions, okay? That's a $3 to $5 CPM with those for every 1,000 people in that particular reach. And that's a great KPI, just so you know. If you have 3 that are working, you want to lump them together, and then you can take anywhere from $3 to $5 CPM and have that as your rule of thumb to go after. So those are the 3 steps that I would suggest anybody to follow. Now, don't forget, anybody can go ahead and create a store. Anybody can go out there and advertise. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world. Now, before I end off, give me one quick second. I do have a very, very special and important announcement for you. So there was a lot to cover in this particular video. Now, I hope you learned a lot. If you did learn a lot, what I would like for you to do is go ahead and shoot me a thumbs up on this video and subscribe with notifications on. And if you haven't done so yet, I went ahead and constructed a new little landing page. If you go to 100kblueprint.com, it's a coming soon page. All right, so a lot of you, over 2,000 of you have already signed up for the early bird notification list of 100K Blueprint when we relaunch to the public. Now, this is the 4th year that we have this open to the public. Last year we never launched it. That's why it's 3.0. So essentially, if you want to go ahead and be on that waiting list, the waiting list is down in the description down below. But what I also suggest is I have another awesome video right over here that I suggest watching. If you are new and want to keep on learning more, I definitely suggest watching this video. However, for those of you who want to go ahead and learn a little bit more about Facebook ads, this is another video that I suggest. And in the link in the description, you can take a look at other videos on my channel that'll help you and point you in the right direction. So Dan Fam Notification Squad, make sure you're subscribed with notifications, very, very important. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you're giving me a nice follow on Instagram. I'm trying to beat my good old pal ODI Productions right now. We are at the same exact number, 22,300 followers. And yeah, essentially, all the 100K Blueprint updates are gonna be on there as well. So, Dan Fam Notification Squad, it has been real. The realest it can possibly be right now. So I'm excited, I have a lot of energy and more content is coming your way. I'm sorry for the lack of videos because I'm here at this conference. So again, Dan Fam Notification Squad, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully. So see ya.